Welcome to Viron, the Tekla Structures System Environment Attribute Exclusion tool. In this demonstration, I'm going to go into a few more of the more in-depth features that will allow you to use Viron in a more effective way to suit your system. One of the key aspects of Viron is its ability to specify tokens, which are then defined within the INI files themselves, which then allow them to be further expanded into lists of directories which house these setting files that we're trying to exclude. You will notice if you go straight into the role file without going into the environment file first, that some of these tokens are not yet expanded. So it doesn't actually know what the role steal or access general is because it hasn't been defined yet. And that means that if you go into the environment file first, you'll see these ones that are highlighted in blue. They're the ones that are listed under here under general, profile database, and general, and role steal. And if you want to add something, let's just say you want to expand the symbol path item, then you can add it in there, and then when you open that up, then that'll be defined as well. And then if symbol path comes out in one of these, that'll be expanded too. Another handy feature of Viron is to copy settings from within this file here straight into your own INI files. Let's just say you want to copy the settings listed here and then modify some of these values without typing them all out manually. You can just select the ones that you want and Control C to copy, and then open up your favorite text editor and paste. And that will come in already formatted to suit the way Tekla reads settings in. If you also use Notepad++ to modify your INI files, you can also get these scripting language definitions. If you go to the Tekla warehouse and go to Chloe Software Notepad++ script languages, then they're available to download there too. Another aspect of Viron I wanted to take a closer look at was the search feature. As well as being able to drag files, you can also drag entire folders. That gives you access to all the files in that directory. And if you move files out, then that directory is automatically updated. And if you drag files back in, then that's automatically updated again. You also have the ability to search based on each column rather than just the file itself. You can specify that here. You can either search for the full name, which includes the name and both extensions, or you can just search for the name component, which doesn't include any extensions, or the file type, which includes multiple extensions. If it's got .prt and .more, then it'll include both of those extensions in that, and just the extension is just the last part. You can also decide if you want a prox or exact. I think that's fairly self-explanatory, but just to give you a bit of a demonstration, if you change it to name only, then it'll find any file name that contains the name beam. And if you change that to exact, then it'll find file names where the name component is just beam and it'll exclude all others. And the same as if you click on the file type, it'll get the exact file type. And if you click on this one, it'll get that exact file type. And if you change it to approximate and go to this one, then it'll include .prt and .prt.more. Another incidental trick that I noticed, if you clear that, if you want to search for every single file in here, you can just pretty much type in anything in here And as long as you don't add an extension and leave the file type and approximate there, it'll list all the files. So what I'm going to do is re-include everything I've already excluded. And I'm going to show you the next feature. Now this feature is the one we've all been waiting for. It's the import and export. Once you've excluded all the files that you need to exclude, you just click on export and then select the location and then save it, and it'll come out like this. Here's one I prepared earlier. When you want to import that, you can import it on the same machine in a different version, or you can import it on a different machine on a different version or the same version. Different versions will have different files in different locations, so it will have varying success, but it should be pretty consistent for the same version on a different machine if you want to replicate the same settings with a different user across the office. Now there are a couple of ways that you can import files. The most obvious one is to click import and drag the file in, but if Viron is not open yet, then you can actually just double click that and it'll import it as well. Once it's imported, you need to select the version, and that's the version that the files were excluded from. So all of those directories will be specific for that version. When you want to exclude it from the same version, that path will stay the same. If you select a different version in that list, then it'll replace the version with that, and it'll show you the result whether that file is already excluded, or if the directory doesn't exist, or the file doesn't exist, or if it's available to be excluded. So this list will come out with different colors depending on how successful this export, or how successful this import will be. Once you've got all these, you do have the option to remove items if you want to exclude some items, or if you just want to keep some items, I should say. If you just want to exclude all of these items from the current version, then you just hit process. And Viron has excluded 214 files successfully, and that changes both these lists. So if you go to preview again, it'll say excluded 214, and if you click on show all, it'll show them all. It's really as simple as that. Now you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to show you quickly just so we can demonstrate that it does work. If you go to search, click on the same folders that you had selected before, search for all files, then that's the list of files that we had selected before. We can repeat the process if you like. Select all the files, restore them, close that, go to import the same file again, go through the same process. All the files are listed, 214 available, preview those ones and process, and the 214 files have been excluded again. And then again, if you go back in here, select the same files, there they are, back again. So that's Viron. Hopefully it helps clear up some versions of Tekla that would otherwise be a little bit clogged. If you have any comments or suggestions or ideas, I'm always happy to help improve the software. So let me know. Thanks for watching.